Muslims in Israel, in this regard, are no different from many Muslims all over the world who adopt the way of thinking of this Islamic State, way of conduct as well, and they volunteer in hundreds and thousands to go to Syria and Iraq for the jihad against the Alawis in Syria, against the Shia in Iraq, against everyone who doesn't share their views. Look, so far we have around 1,300 Muslims who volunteered from France, hundreds from the United States of America, hundreds from Britain, from Germany, Holland, Belgium, Spain, Israel also, some dozens, and many others from many other countries, Chechnya, Tatarstan, Kazakhstan, North Africa states, even from South America, from Islamic minorities who live in South America as well, but also converts who convert to Islam, mainly in Europe, and they go to the jihad to perform the obligation of jihad, which every Muslim, according to their view, is obliged by. The Islamic State, it's not ISIS, it's not Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. They omitted the Iraq and Syria. Today it's IS, Islamic State. They are a problem not for Israel only. They are a problem for the whole world. First of all, on their coins, which they issued, they show the whole world, all the way from Indonesia and Japan in the east to Alaska and California in the west. They see no borders in the world because the world is one, was created by the one creator, and has only one real religion, which is Islam, has only one ruler, which is their caliph, and therefore they don't see any borders. So for them, the whole world should be subjugated to their rule and to their Sharia. It's not only the problem of Israel, because Israel is no different in this regard from any other country in the world. Israel might be closer to them, therefore it will be a closer target for them. But Israel knows how to defend itself. And usually they have much respect to states which know how to defend themselves. They so far didn't attack Baghdad, because Baghdad is very much prepared to accept them and to sell them right away to hell. And they know it very well. The same thing is with Jordan. So far, Jordan succeeded to convince them that for their good, they should better stay away. And I believe Israel also sent some messages to them that they should leave Israel alone. They always take advantage of people, entities, groups, villages, which are viewed as weak, and they occupy them and subjugate them, kill the men, enslave the girls, or convince the men to join their death squads, and they become killers. So this is, Israel here is a good club of the whole world, threatened by this state. And yes, we have to take care very carefully on those who might be willing to volunteer to this Islamic State, as was today. 2 men were caught after like 60 Israeli Muslims who already went to the jihad in Syria and Iraq, alongside with thousands from other countries all over the world.
How can we deal with this organization, at least the people that come in from Israel?
It's not an organization anymore. This is a state, because they have a territory which is like 15 times as big as Israel. 15. This is serious. They have an army, they have a police, they have a government, they have a judicial system, they have economy system. This is a state. This is not an organization. And this is, by the way, the difference between the Islamic State and Al-Qaeda, because Al-Qaeda was never a state. This is why this Islamic State is much more attractive for Muslims than Al-Qaeda. So, first of all, we have to understand that this is a state. Secondly, we have to deal with this just like how the world dealt with Nazi Germany. A vicious war until the end of Germany, of the Nazi regime, until the explosion of the last bunker in Berlin, and sending all those either to courts or to heaven or hell. This is the same thing which should be done with the Islamic State, because the later the world will deal with this state, the higher will be the price which the world will have to pay in order to get rid of it. There is no way to get rid of it from the air. Although the airstrikes are serious, yet you cannot get rid of a state by airstrikes. You have to send troops and many boots on the ground in order to catch them in every cellar, in every attic, in every room, every hole where they hide, just like Saddam Hussein. Otherwise, it's not going to be finished. And the danger is that it exports itself, mainly by the media, or the social media, because already we see today areas in the world which pledged allegiance to this Islamic State. In Sinai, the Wilayat Sinai, as they call the district of Sinai, Boko Haram in Nigeria, we had them in Tunisia, we have them in Libya, and we had also an attempt to poison 200,000 people who live in Pristina in Kosovo by people who identify with the Islamic State. We already saw the beheadings in France, in Britain, in the United States of America, which definitely is a fashion, became a fashion by those who try to follow the footsteps of this Islamic State, which actually is a means how to return with the world to the 7th century, when the 7th century was the most glorious and successful century for the Islam, which came out from the Arab Peninsula and occupied two empires, the Byzantine Empire and the Persian Empire. So they are longing for that time of the Prophet Muhammad and the 4 caliphs which followed him. And this is why they call themselves, their slogan is Khilafa ala minhaj al-nubuwa, means caliphate on the style of the prophecy of Muhammad, of course. Means we, the Islamic State, are following the footsteps of those 4 caliphs who followed Muhammad after they heard him for many years and learned from him how to act, how to behave, and how to relate to the others, like how to behead the infidels, how to burn the warriors of the infidels, how to stone in the streets women who went astray, how to chop hands of thieves, and how to sell to slavery the daughters of the tribes which opposed them, of their enemies. And they, in the Islamic State, are implementing the same way of conduct as they learned from the Islamic history books, as they read for many years. And this is why the Islamic State became so attractive for them, because it is viewed as the real thing, which for many, many years we are longing for the return of this real thing.